the fellow that was doing the sign language behind all the heads of state that got up and spoke, it was a fake. He's a documented, court-certified fake. I mean, you're talking about a fraud going on there at the Johannesburg Stadium during the time of the Mandela Memorial Service. This is just one more of the freaky things of fraud and fake that went on. Johannesburg, well, at least I'm reading an article now here from My Way publication, says that a man who provided sign language interpretation on stage for Nelson Mandela's memorial service attended by scores of heads of state was a fake. The national director of the Deaf Federation of South Africa said this on Tuesday. He asked about the claim by the Associated Press. South Africa's government said it was preparing a statement. 3 sign language experts said the man was not signing in South African or American sign languages. South African sign languages cover all of the country's 11 official languages spoken, according to the Federation spokesperson. It was immediately clear if the unidentified man was, it wasn't immediately clear, pardon me, if the unidentified man was using a different method to communicate. The unidentified man seen around the world on television next to leaders like Barack Obama was moving his hands around, but there was no meaning in what he used his hands for, said Bruno Drutching, the Federation's national director. Nicole DeTort, an official sign language interpreter who also watched the broadcast, said in a telephone interview that the man on stage purporting to sign was an embarrassment. It was horrible. An absolute circus. I mean, really, really bad, she said. Only he can understand those gestures. So, I mean, you got to wonder, here's a man, and we don't even know what his name is. How is it that this man was able to stand beside the heads of state, even people like the Mac Daddy Obama? And we don't know what he was, or whether he was interpreting, whether he was speaking Pig Latin, or whether he was speaking Ebonics. We don't know. Whether it's Swahili, we don't know nobody knows. Experts in sign language from around the world have concurred that this man was a fraud. So how did he get there? Who put him up there? I mean, who let the dogs out? If this ain't a fiasco, listen, the only thing black people can do right is wrong. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely preposterous. And check this out. The reports are now being circulated, and they are accurate. Bishop Desmond Tutu, Archbishop, whoever he is, of South Africa, while he was up there speaking, the boys back in Soweto were robbing his house. I mean, here's a funeral for the father of the nation, is that right? Nelson Mandela is being eulogized. And Nobel laureate Bishop Desmond Tutu is eulogizing Nelson Mandela. And while he's doing that, the Homeboys are burglarizing his flat screen television and some of his wife's jewels and some of his cassocks and robes and gold rings. And they walked out the house and left the door open. Black people. I mean, God, you would think that everybody was so in love with Nelson Mandela, they wouldn't think about putting any heist on his day of eulogy. If this ain't a joke, I'm going to call up Richard Pryor. This is absolutely unbelievable. This is absolutely incredible that black people act this way. And it just goes, it gets worse, everybody, as it goes on and on. And then I got to tell you that the Obama, who was supposed to be the big champion there, a lot of people booed the speakers when they came out. This is absolutely the worst of the worst. But my friends, that's how that is. One more Mandela event, and then I'll take a break. You know, the Mac Daddy was there. And he was seated beside Danish president, let's see, what is her name now? Prime Minister Helle Thorning-Schmidt. And on the other side of her was Prime Minister David Cameron of the UK. So these three creeps, these three idiots, while Mandela is being memorialized, they're taking a selfie. They're taking a picture, got the cell phone up there, as if these people don't have professional photographers. They're taking a picture of the three of these creeps sitting there together, and Obama's got this big corn-eating grin on his face, and Cameron has probably got his hands on the leg of this blonde prime minister from this Danish prime minister, and Michelle the fist bumper is ticked. I mean, she looks, her face, her mouth is stuck out, her jaw is taut. I mean, she's got a sapphire look on her, like if you don't stop fawning over this woman. And then the other thing is that this was just really poor etiquette. I think we've got someone who has written a book on etiquette. I'm trying to find the person's name.